So what I'll do is record this, and then it'll save as an MP4, and I'll put it into my YouTube. I'll make a YouTube link out of it, and then I will send it for those that want to review. Okay. So that's my tentative plan. I understand the system is slow, but it seems to be working. So, okay. I'm going to start by saying thank you for coming. I know these are unusual times. Kyle, did you do something to your background screen, or are you just in a dark room?
No, I made it a plain black background just so I wouldn't have to worry about anything being in the background.
Yeah, I decided.
Make it less distracting.
Yeah, oh, okay. Well, I guess my background is a little bit distracting.
I have to say that I really like Joey's background. That gave me a good laugh.
Oh.
If we're not there, we might as well get the next best thing.
Okay, that's good. Well, then I'll see what I can do for next class. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Although I'm supposed to be able to just share. Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. Share. What are y'all seeing? All right, so they just wanted to, this is what I was thinking I would try to cover today. This is certainly, I mean, I wanted to just see how everybody's doing. We'll review the syllabus, the format for the classes in the upcoming weeks. And if you have any suggestions, I have here TV recommendations, because that's important to me. I understand y'all have your things. We'll go over the assignments. We'll try chat rooms. I think I did this last week, and thank y'all who came last week. Office hours, and the To Your Good Health. But I wanted to, no, I didn't want to do that first. I wanted to just review this with you first. Those of you that are familiar with this curve, what do you know about it? What have you heard about it? Just feel free to jump in, because I don't know what this means.
What I've been hearing most about it is that, like, the reason for social distancing,
Yeah,
kind of taking all of the precautions that we're taking right now, is to flatten the curve,
right.
so that it doesn't skyrocket the number of cases, and that we can kind of level off earlier on and then kind of begin our slope down.
And that's good. That's very good. Yes, the concern and what was happening in Italy is that they didn't put their controls in place, and they saw this huge rise in cases. And we were talking about this before break, that there were cases, I don't know if it was your class or another class that asked me about community spread, because it began to spread among people who didn't know anybody or hadn't been to China, and that meant that it was in the population. And that's why we're taking such strong measures right now, because what happened in Italy was that the hospital, when it goes up this high, the concern is that it overwhelms the healthcare system. And we're seeing that now, where places are asking for masks, they're asking for people to not buy things out of the stores, and not to, well, just to make sure that things are available for the hospitals and for the people who are sick. And by implementing these measures, the idea is that you stay within the boundaries of the healthcare system. And that's what this is about, is trying to keep the cases down so that we don't overload the healthcare system. What people don't realize is, even if you don't have any symptoms, even if you feel healthy, even if you have a mild case of coronavirus, you are still contagious. And you may not know that you have it, and hopefully none of you will get it. But the purpose of the social distancing is so that it doesn't spread, because people who do get sick and have to go to the hospital wind up needing those resources. And what the idea is to try to keep the number of people who need to be hospitalized and be sick down, keep it low, keep it within the confines, keep it within what our healthcare system can handle. So even if somebody has a mild case, even if somebody feels fine, but they've tested positive, they still should be practicing social distancing. Does anybody know anyone who's been diagnosed or has been tested?
One of my teammates just messaged our group and said that his grandpa got it and was tested positive and passed it on to the family.
Oh my God.
And everyone's fine. He said that for him personally, it's just been like a mild headache and a stuffy nose. But yeah, he just told us like literally 10 minutes ago. He's like, yeah, my grandpa tested positive. He's fine.
So that's really interesting. See, so if he feels fine, he might not realize he's still contagious, and that he might feel like he can go out and be with friends or be around other people, but he's shedding virus. That means that he is contagious, even though he feels fine, and he might make somebody else sick. And that's why you feel fine. Did anybody read about Senator Rand Paul? What did you read about him?
Just that Rand Paul was diagnosed with or tested positive for coronavirus, and then continued in between like actually hearing back that he worked out in the Senate pool and gym. So he was getting a lot of backlash from other Congress members who were pretty displeased with the potential spread that way.
So what his office was saying was that as soon as he found out that he had it, he stepped back from his activities, when what he should have done was as soon as he was tested, he should have stepped back. So once he was diagnosed, he said that he stopped being around other people, but as soon as he was tested, he stepped back. And he made some interesting comments. He said, well, if I was following the guidelines, I would not have gotten tested because I felt fine. And I'm conflicted about that, because he's right that the way the guidelines are set up, not everybody is getting tested, which is why the whole issue of testing everyone is so important, because that's how we can find out, I don't mean me, that's how the people who study these things can find out the direction and what's heading and where are the hot spots. So he had a good point, but the reality is the man went to medical school. Even though he's a medical doctor, he's an eye doctor. And once he got tested, he should have isolated himself. And so the idea of social distancing, the idea of trying to limit your contact, is that you then will slow down the rate at which this curve rises. And by doing that, it helps to stay within, we can keep our resources for people who need it and not become overwhelmed. So that's why I wanted to go over that with you. And then let's see if I can show this. If it sounds horrible, somebody let me know. I don't know if I'm supposed to push a button to make it sound better, but this is a picture of somebody. He's wearing, or the person is wearing gloves, and then they're washing their hands with black paint, just to kind of show you how long it may actually take to wash your whole hand. And it's trending, so it must be good. Or I'm not going to find it. Let's see. Well, that's effective. Maybe I'll post it for you. Let's see, is it anywhere else in here? Nope. Oh, well, no good deed. Okay, so I can't show you that. So let's go back up to, all right, so what I'd like to do next is review the syllabus. Has anybody have any concerns about the syllabus? When things are due? So for Thursday, I posted some videos for you to watch. Let's see if I can get there from here. Hold on, I'm gonna unshare my screen and look for it.
Professor, I did have one question.
Yes, please.
So it said that exam number 2 is going to be on April 12th, but it looks like April 12th is a Sunday.
Yeah, well, I think I screwed up. What do you think? Yeah, I think that, when did I want to do it? April 12th is a Sunday. Oh, April 14th. All right, so yeah, that it should be April. Thank you. And I will update that and send that out. Let me make a note. I talked to my department head, and even though we have, well, even though it's a class day and I'm asking you to watch videos, there'll still be an exam. All right, so let me share my screen and just go to Blackboard as soon as I can figure out where there it is. All right, can you all see my Blackboard? Okay, I'm gonna assume okay. So what I'm doing is posting things in documents, in the documents folder. So for example, oh no, we're not here yet. Wait, we're still. For Thursday, these are the folks that have current events. And then these are the videos that I made that would have been the material that we would have covered in class. And then after we have current events, after I answer any questions you may have, then I'll put you in breakout groups and we'll practice that for a second. And I have questions. So there are 4 questions here. I'm going to break you up into 4 groups. And I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to get you to know what question you have. Well, we'll practice that in a minute. And so that's kind of how I have things set up. So for example, next week, we'll be starting energy balance and body composition. These are the folks who have current events. These are the videos. Well, actually, this one was up here for you to watch before I started recording. So these are the 2 that I made. So I'd be asking you to watch all of these videos. What I will say, and I'll say it again when we cover weight control, is that I do not talk about numbers. You know how to figure out what your BMI is and what your weight is supposed to be. I'm not going to cover that. But so these would be what you would watch next Tuesday. I will be available during office hours and during class time, but you don't have to check in. All right, what you do on Tuesdays is watch the videos, and then we have class on Thursdays. We'll talk about the material, and then I'll have you in breakout groups. So that's the plan for the material, what's going to happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Let's see, what did I do with my PowerPoint? I closed it.
We don't have to come to the Zoom link on Tuesdays?
You do not. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that it would be, I thought it would be a better use of our time if wait, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to do this. Can you all see that? Do folks see anyone? I can't see you. Let's see.
Yes,
right.
we can see it.
Thank you. Oh, wait, I can sort of do this. All right, so that's the syllabus. So the die projects are still due on the 31st. You can email them to me I think I have a time for that. And no, by the 7th, I'm sorry. I think we changed it to April 7th. So by the 31st, if you want me to look at any of your information, email it to me and we'll set up a time and I can talk to you about it. All right. So you still have a week before it's due for me to look at what you're doing. And then they'll be due, email them to me by April 7th and I will work on them. If you want me to make comments on your projects, please send me a note with it, like, yes, please comment, because I used to make comments on people's diet projects and they would throw them out before they'd even left the room. So I will certainly be happy to comment on it, but that's only if you ask. Okay. And then the nutrient sales pitches, what you can do is make a brochure. You can make I think I listed a couple things, some other ideas. If you go to Blackboard, to the to the topic. There are some other ideas that you can use, and each one of you can do it individually and send it to me, and that will count for your sales pitch assignment. Let's see, what else? Office hours. Oh, you're not to your good health. That's not you folks. Okay. Let me get out of here. Stop sharing. So what I want to do now is just try to break you in, put you into breakout groups, just to kind of see how that works. Are you ready? I was very excited when it worked last week. Okay, 4 groups. Ready, set. All right. Oh. David, I don't, are you in a room? Oh my God, they're all in rooms. Okay, wow, wow. Okay, so I think what will happen is that I will come into your rooms and I will tell you which question. So you would be my first breakout group, and what you'll do is you'll take that question, and what I ask you to do is talk to each other about it for 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll kind of check into the rooms. And if you have any questions, then I can help you figure out the answers, and then we'll break out, then we'll get back into the classroom and see what everybody came up with. All right. Okay, I'm going to your room and go into another room because I can.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I don't really have anything to say.
Bye.
Hi. How's everybody?
Good.
So what I'll be doing is when I get into the rooms, unless we figure out something else, there are 4 questions. I will give you one of the questions. You can discuss it amongst yourselves for a while. I'll check in and out of the rooms to make sure that you're on the right track. And once I feel that the questions have been answered or not, we'll get back into class and cover everything. Just make sure everybody knows what was discussed in all the groups, okay? All right. All right, I'm leaving this room.
I have no idea.
I feel like we're gonna get an email in like 5 minutes just saying like, okay guys, like, oh, she's here, hello.
Here. No, I'm going through your breakout group number 3. And what I was saying was I will assign you a question and ask you to talk about it. And then I'll leave the room. I'll go back to Hogwarts. And I will check in with you like over the next 15 minutes or so to see how you're doing with the discussion. All the information, well, a lot of the information have been in the videos, but it's also for you to discuss questions. And then we'll get back into the classroom, and we will hear what everybody's group had to say. You can assign somebody to be the leader or to talk about it. But the idea is that we all have an idea of what all the answers to the questions are and what the information is. Okay? So I'm going to leave and go to the next room if they haven't already left. Wake up.
Hi.
Thanks for waiting for me. So if you weren't here last week, what I'll be doing is coming into the rooms, unless I need to do it better. I think I just need to say group 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are your questions, but what you'll do is you'll have a question, you'll discuss it amongst yourselves. I'll come in, see what's going on, make sure that you're on the right track, help you answer the questions. Then once we've done that, we'll get back into the classroom and make sure that everybody understands all the information, and then go have a virtual beer or not. or not beer, but all right. Okay,
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
the room, and then if you want, I'm gonna like close them, and I think you have 60 seconds till you're automatically kicked out because I forgot how to do it. But if you want to, I mean, if you're chatting with each other, that's fine. But I'm just gonna close them in like a minute or so. So.
Professor, you're on mute.
Because I really don't have anything to say anymore. I've
Oh,
done,
okay, just checking.
said everything I've wanted to say. I am out. No, so does anybody have any questions about the format of class?
I have a question about the diet project.
Yes,
So you said we're allowed to ask you a week in advance.
up
to
till
look
the 31st, you can ask me questions, yes.
So the 31st is a week from today, though. So is
Mm-hmm.
today the last day?
No, because I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Let me take that down. Well, let me say, exam is April 14th, diet projects are due April 7th. So you have till the 31st to ask me. The date for the diet projects is the April 7th. So you have
okay.
till next week to ask me questions.
And for the sales pitch, are we still working in our groups or is it individual?
What do you
now?
guys think? Can you work in groups, or would you just rather send me a brochure? Or some of the suggestions I've had from people who didn't have a partner. Somebody had, for example, their nutrient was missing. Like it was a dog and the dog's name was Potassium. And the reason why they kind of had a little script which you could write to go with it. The reason why potassium been missing, and this is what had happened since potassium went missing, and those would be the deficiencies. And they wanted to get potassium back and those would be the functions and some of the places that potassium likes to go to, and those would be the food sources. So you could do like a one-page picture of, a missing, your dog is missing, and then you could write up a short couple paragraphs of what you would be saying if you were showing this to the class, something like that. Or people have done brochures where they were being recruited. Well, actually, no, let's say they were going to Calcium College and the benefits of going to Calcium College, and that would be the functions. And if you don't come to our college, that would be the deficiencies. And we also have locations for you to come ask questions all over, and those would be the food sources. And so that could be a brochure, or it could be a one-page write-up. So if you like include pictures, you can have a short script of how you would have, if you would have been in class, what you would have said. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question, Maria? Any other questions?
Can we work with our partners if we want to?
That would be lovely. Yes. Just stay 6 feet apart.
Professor, what vitamins and minerals did you say were not going to be accurate in MyFitnessPal? Was it vitamin A?
Vitamin A and potassium.
Vitamin A and potassium. All right,
Now,
thank you.
I didn't look into this, and I don't know what kind of time you want to put into it, but Cengage, the people who are doing the access code, said they were making some of their materials available free. So I don't know if you want to get their number. I don't know if I gave it to you at the beginning of the semester, if you want to contact them and see if you can get the access code for free, or if you are working with MyFitnessPal, then just keep working with MyFitnessPal. Whatever works better for you. Other questions?
Are vitamin A and calcium on MyFitnessPal correct?
The vitamin A, I don't think is correct. But what was the other nutrient?
What was the other one you said that? Was
Potassium.
it calcium or potassium? Yeah.
It's
Is that one correct?
vitamin A, potassium. I think I have on Blackboard which ones aren't, which are inaccurate. So you need to just kind of double check, which might be why if you get started on it, you can send me what you have and I'll look at it. And if the numbers look really out of whack for what you've eaten, I'll let you know. Because not everything is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's just certain foods. And keep in mind that if your vitamin A levels are really high and you're eating carrots or red peppers, that beta carotene, which is the vegetable form of vitamin A, is non-toxic if you have it in huge amounts. You can develop a condition called beta carotenemia, which it will be in one of the videos. It means you have beta carotene, again, the vegetable form of vitamin A, building up in your tissue. It's non-toxic, but you might turn a little orange. The concern about about toxicities with vitamin A is from the animal form, because that's what can be toxic, but the vegetable form is non-toxic. So for those of you that eat carrots or eat a lot of vegetables and you notice that you have 1,000 times the recommendation for for vitamin A, as long as it's from a vegetable source, you don't have to worry about it. So you don't have to, look at the toxicity symptoms. I don't want you to stop eating carrots. I don't want you to stop eating vegetables. If you have high levels of beta carotene, it's fine. That's not a concern. Other questions?
Yeah.
Besides, sorry, go ahead.
Is there a link to the Cengage thing on Blackboard?
No, but what do you mean? What Cengage thing?
The like tracker, where you can log your foods.
Do you have the access code?
No, I haven't gotten it. That's what I was looking for.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I think if you went to Amazon, let me look something up here while you're sending. Oh, wait. Casey Harkin. Casey Harkins is my rep for Cengage. How about if I give you her email address? I'll give you the number, customer service number. How's that sound? Does it sound? I'm sorry, I've got 3 things up here on my screen. Can you write it down? Okay, it's 800. It's here somewhere. Where'd it go? Customer service is 800-354-9706. But Casey, let's hit up Casey because she's our local rep. Let me just write this down and I'll put this also in an email, Casey Harkins. And her office number is 518-248-2043. 518-248-2043.
Got it. Thank you.
Unless something's changed, and it may have, I don't know. So let me know when you call her, or if you call, and I will send this out in an email as soon as we're done. I'll write this up and I'll send it out. And I'm also gonna save this recording so it'll be there for those of you that have a burning desire to look at this again. But then you can get in touch with her. I would check that out.
And what is the name, exact name of what we're trying to access? Just if we call her so we can reference
The access code for the Diet and Wellness Project.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I have something ringing in my ear. Let me just turn it off. Okay, yeah, the access code for the Diet and Wellness Project. Access. Yeah. Okay, good. Anything else?
Did you mention that there were other options besides Cengage and MyFitnessPal to get those numbers, or did it have to come through Cengage?
What do you have available for you? What do you
Oh,
use?
no, I was just curious because I couldn't remember if you said there was other options to get the accurate potassium. And
There are food composition tables. Well, if you have the textbook, the back of the textbook has a food composition table. The USDA has food composition tables. I imagine, let's see, what have I used? I don't know, but let me look at, I'll look some things up and I'll put it in my email. All right, resources for. Okay, I'll look that up.
thank you.
All right, anything else?
Professor,
Yes, sure.
so we are using Diet and Wellness Plus, right?
Yes.
And is there a tutorial for how to use it?
Is there a tutorial? I
Yes,
don't know.
like,
But I made a video on Blackboard with instructions on how to do the diet project. I don't know if it's in, so it might have information in there, but that would be something that you could ask Casey about, or that would be something you could ask customer service about. I think once you open it up and get into it and start playing with it, it's not that hard, but I certainly understand you guys, you folks have tons of stuff on your plate, and
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you just Googled tutorial, but you can check. All right. Thank you for asking. Other questions or concerns?
I apologize if you mentioned this earlier, but what is the test going to look like now?
What's going to happen is that it'll be short answers, and I will probably have about 10 questions, and I will ask you to pick 5 of them. And I will trust you because I do. And you will type in your answers and send it back to me. What do you guys think about the possibility of classes going pass fail? Have you heard anything about that?
We have until I think it's May 12th to decide if we want to take the grade or if we want to take pass fail.
Uh-huh. And
So,
yeah.
So like theoretically, like if I didn't get a good letter grade in this class and I was like, okay, it's gonna affect my GPA, I could just say I'm gonna take pass fail, and then it wouldn't affect my GPA and I would still get credit for the course.
It's all or nothing though. So you either like
Yeah.
do all your classes are pass fail or none of your classes are pass fail.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me sad because I think the whole world knows that this semester is messed up for the whole world. And that would be kind of awful if something like this had an impact, but I don't know. Well, nobody knows. Yeah. Are you happy that that's an option? So you decide what you want. Again, as much as I think this is the most important class you'll ever take, I understand that you have other things. Oh, but it's an all or nothing here. That's what you were just saying. Ah. I don't know. I think Babson might be doing it the other way, but I don't know what their policy is yet. Well, I will still be happy to look at any of the stuff that your stuff, if you, well, I don't know, whatever works for you is what you have to do. So, anything else? So any last minute TV shows? I've got Royal Pains and Suits. Nothing?
Have you ever heard of Altered Carbon?
Oh, Altered Carbon.
I'm watching it right now. It's really good.
Okay, I saw it. See, this is kind of why I like the British Baking Show, because sometimes the description for some of those things is a little bit scary, and the British Baking Show is like, this week, dessert. But, yeah. But tonight, I think, what is it? What are we watching? Oh, Better Call Saul was on last night. Yeah. Anything else? Any other TV shows?
Have you seen New Girl?
New Girl? No.
It's like kind of like a dumb comedy, but it's kind of a classic.
Well, dumb comedies are right up there with things that I want to be doing right now.
Me too, yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Any other suggestions?
Have you seen Patriot Act with Hassan Minaj?
Oh.
Kind of like a comedy news, like a quick synopsis of what's going on in the world, but he makes it funny.
Yeah, I've been watching Seth Meyers' Closer Look. That's, yeah, I don't know if I can watch that right now, but maybe, especially if he makes it funny. All right, and what are you all doing for relaxation? You're watching TV, you're walking, you're taking walks, you're eating some of your favorite foods and not feeling bad about it? Okay. All right. Does anybody else have, oh, so this was a joke that somebody in my other class said. He said, due to the quarantine, I will only be telling inside jokes. And on that note, I'm going to end class. See you on Thursday. Please watch the videos if you have any questions. Email me. I'll be available during office hours. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Professor.